Hello there, I'm Lady Loy, and you can find me on Lovers Rock Radio on a Friday 7 till 9 and on the Roller Coaster Show on Gold Standard Radio on Saturday 7 till 9. And I wanted to talk about these videos I've been watching recently. I just cannot believe them. There's a lot of videos with men downing women. And what they're saying is that they're not really interested in women. They never have been. They said they say women are really a pain in the arse. All they do is moan and complain. And they just get into a relationship because either it's for regular sex or they want somebody to take care of them. And, somebody to wash the clothes, and while they sit back and put their feet up as though they're God's gift. And if you saw some of these men, honestly. But I thought to myself, why would you openly declare that you do not like women? That really you're just using them. You don't really care for them or like them even. They're just simply there because they can do something for you. They can make your life easier. Even though they are under stress while they're trying to keep you happy and themselves happy and the children happy. And that men, some of them, they're not even contributing to the household. They literally come home or come in, or maybe they're not even going anywhere. They're just sitting in the house, sitting with their feet up. And the woman, and they're calling them trads because they're the traditional women, are running behind them and getting so stressed. And these same women were on a different set of videos saying they just can't take it anymore. They can't take the imbalance. They say that the men that they've entered a marriage with or a relationship with, they're just not bringing anything to the table. Now, when you think of any partnership or any relationship or any business, because when you think about it, relationships are business. It's something you invest your time in. Some people invest money in it too. But you invest because you expect to get something out. It's supposed to make your life easier. But what women in particularly are finding is that relationships with men are not making their lives easier. In fact, they're making it harder. And so when these same women decide to live on their own, and these men that were on these videos saying, oh, she doesn't really like it being on her own, they're wrong. Because when you think about it, when you've reached a point where you're no longer following the flock, you've kind of had an awakening moment and think, how do I benefit from being in a relationship? How? And then you kind of think, do I benefit from being in a relationship? Some people do, some people don't. But for those who don't, because there is no balance, the husband isn't, taking his fair share of the duties or whatever there is because they feel it's a woman's role. So they sit back, put their feet up and wait. And the woman has been waiting on them hand and foot until she's reached the point where she says, oh, I've had enough. And then these men they're bawling on these videos saying, oh, I've let a good woman go. By what they mean by a good woman is somebody who's cleaning up after them, cooking for them, being their PA, being everything to them, doing everything. And even though she's doing everything for them, they decide, oh, well, because she's doing everything for me, it must mean I'm great. So therefore, there must be others out there. And then they go out and they test the waters. And then the woman who's been doing everything finally wakes up and says, I'm not taking this anymore. And she leaves. And then these men that was on there were saying, oh, I know she's going to come back. I know she's going to come back. She's got no intention of coming back. And then you had other men who were saying, look, if you have somebody who's really investing in you, who's really caring and, who shows that she demonstrates that she loves you, you have to take care of that woman. You have to appreciate her. Don't take her for granted. But, I just got so confused because I wondered if it was a setup. I cannot believe that men would openly admit that they really don't like women, that women are solely there to serve them and their needs in this day and age, 2026. And yet these men were saying just that. They don't really like the women that they live with or that they marry. They just want to know that there is somebody steady who they can have sex with, who will do their washing and their cleaning and look after the house and do all their head work, fill up their forms and stuff like that. And I thought it was a shame because I think that it doesn't help that some mothers tell their sons, you better go and find yourself a nice woman to look after you. That doesn't help because mothers are not raising their sons to say, look, when you enter a relationship, there's supposed to be balance, because they weren't in relationships where there were balance. They were in relationships where they held the larger part of the burden. And so now women are waking up and thinking, I don't want to take the large part of the burden. I want a balanced relationship of equal give and take, where my life is easier, his life is easier, and vice versa. When you enter a relationship, it has to be to make your life easier. Otherwise, what is the point? And when I say easier, there might be something that you're good at that he's not good at. Or there might be something he's good at and you're not good at. And you kind of complement each other because you're able to fill in the different slots of each other's lives. And I think the relationships that work are because the partners have not only become friends, but they've actually been able to fill the grooves in each other's lives. They've actually been able to create balance, and they actually help each other's life to be lighter. But the people who are on these videos, and honestly, one of them had 74,000 views. I mean, people are watching those videos where they're saying that women don't want men and men don't want women. And I think it's a setup to separate men from women. It might be, my imagination, but I cannot understand why people have got to the stage where they're saying they don't want each other. Although I must admit the men were saying that they do need a good woman. But why did they say they need a good woman? Because they want somebody to look after them. And that's not how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to look after each other. It's not a one-way ticket. Anyway, I didn't even look at my notes. But what was that last thing I wanted to say? There was something I did want to say. Sometimes it's the simple things. Women just want genuine love, care and integrity from their men. If you love someone, you don't have to ask for things to be done or areas that need attention you notice, because they're proactive. They use their initiative. What else have we got here? I've got here, I thought to myself, now these things... I won't say that. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave it there for now. But honestly, it is important that, if you are entering a relationship, that you be open about what you really want. Do you want, tell your woman, look, I really want somebody because I'm disorganized and I need somebody to help me tidy up. What can I do for you that could help you out? Can I say it any simpler, folks? I don't think I can. But anyway, you don't want to see those videos. One of them is called Lysandra. I think that's her name. Dread in a Babylon. Take care for now.